KCWI 23 HD. Jackie and Jason here, very excited. Well, we're kind of sad that we're on this side of the studio because things are smelling and looking
Gaylon
great.
comes in, it's like Santa Claus walked in.
Over in the Wood Harbor Kitchen. Yeah. So we're heading over there to meet Gaylon and from Decked Outside as well as Lou, because something is smelling good over there, guys.
Ooh, I have my bear paws, and they're paws, not claws. So, you know, bear paws. Gaylon Peterson is here from Decked Outside.
Good morning, Lou.
Good morning. What are we diving into this morning? This looks like fun. I haven't even touched anything yet.
Well, we're continuing with our graduation party theme that we started last week, you know, and party food, barbecue is definitely party food. I mean, how can you not have a party when you're eating barbecue?
That's true.
You know, the big three of barbecue typically are ribs, pork butt, and brisket.
Got it.
Brisket we did last week, so this week we're doing pork butt.
Now, is that exactly what it is called when you go to the butcher market or meat department?
Boston butt, it's actually pork shoulder. It doesn't come from the hind end of the hog. It comes from the front end of the hog.
And how is this priced?
Well, it's on sale this week at a couple of different stores, and so, you know, it's a very economical cut of pork, you know, and if you don't cook it properly, it can be a little tough and a little rubbery, but boy, if you do it right, and hopefully we did it right,
all right,
it's pretty darn delicious.
What is the secret of making this correctly and cooking it correctly?
So the process, and you've seen me do this before. I think I did this last spring. You start with the roast. This was about a 7-pound pork shoulder, pork Boston butt, and rub it liberally with mustard, and I usually do this the night before I want to start cooking. Mustard. Just yellow mustard, and that acts as a glue. And then you put your rub of choice on the pork butt.
And this is pork butt rub.
Butt rub from Bad Byron. And so that's one of my favorite go-tos, and of course you would use butt rub on pork butt, and so you rub it down pretty liberally with the rub, let it sit in the refrigerator wrapped up overnight, so all those flavors can start to meld and
impregnate. They do seep in, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. So then we went to the Smokin' Brothers pellet grill using hickory. Full hickory, 100% hickory wood pellets. Started that up and took it to about 225 degrees on the smoker. Put the pork butt in there, and 9 hours later.
9 hours later.
9 hours
now,
later.
There's enough in the hopper to last 9 hours?
There was, and here's the really cool thing. We're very busy at Decked Outside, and so I don't have a lot of time to be babysitting, because you know I love you guys, but you know that's really
you have work to do.
Well, that's really kind of where what pays the bills. So I mean, it was on there, and I maybe checked it once or twice. And that was it. That was it.
Now, when you were talking pellet grill, the pellet smokers, it doesn't bellow smoke out constantly, does it?
No, it smokes a lot when it starts up. I'm going to start making you a sandwich.
Okay.
But it doesn't, you know, it constantly is going to impart that flavor, but it's not like a huge amount of smoke is coming out.
So you're not going to see smoke billowing out of this contraption.
Yeah.
For some people that might think that's the case. No,
exactly.
it gets infused into the meat flavor.
No.
Now, I'm using my paws here. Am I separating this?
Yeah, you can, sure.
Okay.
So to do the ultimate South Carolina sandwich, we want to start with Texas toast.
Okay.
And because we want something really substantial
look at
and
that
thick.
fall apart.
Isn't that cool? And so I got some pork chopped up here. We're going to put that on the sandwich.
Now, since you said Carolina, does that mean it's more vinegar based that you're talking here?
It's the sauce that we're going to use is a South Carolina sauce, which is mustard. It does have some vinegar in it. First of all, we're going to put some of those great juices that collect.
So you're putting this pork butt in a pan while you're smoking it?
Well, and not initially. I usually take the pork butt to somewhere around 140 to 150 degrees, and then I put it in a foil pan, wrap it up in foil, and then cook it. This I took to 170 degrees.
170.
Yeah, you can take it to 180, and it would fall apart even more. But I think that sometimes you risk breaking down the meat too much, and you lose some of the flavor and it gets a little mushy.
Got it.
And I don't like that. Okay, so after we got the pork butt on there, we're going to do a little coleslaw.
A little saw on it.
This is Gaylon's coleslaw that I invented last week that I am really
Now, is the
kinda wild
recipe
about.
for Gaylon's coleslaw available anywhere? Or is that a trade secret?
I don't know. You know, Mrs. Peterson, CEO of Decked Outside, she couldn't figure out what all was in it. So last night I was mixing it up, and
she
I
was
saw
watching.
her peeking.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got a couple.
Gaylon's secret.
Couple of secret things. Okay, so here's our South Carolina sauce. Made this up this morning, actually. Put a little bit of that on. Like pickles?
Of course.
So.
My mouth is watering just
Throw a
standing here,
couple
so
of
you know that.
pickles on.
Ooh, do I like pickles?
And we got to put our topper on. Kind of squash all that
You gotta
down
put it in
really
place.
good.
And then you take your saber,
yeah,
saw.
You need to have a great big centaur
That's a
knife.
machete you brought with you. A
You want
samurai.
me to cut it in half again, or you want the whole half?
I'll just eat 2 pieces if you cut it in half again.
Not a problem. Not a problem. All right, you guys
Let's dive
dig
into
into
this.
that. Dig into that.
Park and dive in there.
I'm going to try some of the meat.
Yeah.
I'm doing what Gaylon created.
Take a look at some of these pieces. You can see the smoke ring
that's really good.
on some of these pieces.
Very, very tender.
And yeah, it's. I think this one turned out pretty well.
Yeah, I'll say.
Yeah, it's turned out pretty good, Gaylon.
Is it okay?
It's okay. Now,
I
if
used
you
to hug
want,
him, but he's not as soft to hug anymore. There's less of him there.
if you want a device
Bonier.
that can
Yeah.
create these things with the simplicity, you just heard. You put the meat on the smoker, leave it there for 9 hours,
9 hours.
and it's done.
And it's done.
Now,
And
what-
it's done. You pull it apart and make a sandwich.
Tell people how to find your place.
So we're at 4033 Northwest Urbandale Drive, which is basically 100th Street north of Douglas. Can't miss us, Decked Outside.
There it is. I'm gonna keep eating this.